Welcome everyone, I'm here with the BX2380 and today we're going to do a little experiment. I'm going to see if my old plywood Snowpusher can hold up against my new actual Snowpusher. So I'm going to do half of my driveway with one of them, half of my driveway with the other, and then we'll see which one we like best. So up first we're going to do the Snowpusher. This is the SPL0548. It is about 19.5 inches high. It's about 18 inches deep. And it should be 4 feet wide. And it's just over 4 feet wide, so pretty close. Anyways, that's what we're working with today. For the Snowpusher, I made this thing a little ridiculous, frankly. So for height, we got about 14 inches. Just under 4 feet wide. And pretty close to 31 inches deep.
And here we go, starting off with the bucket. Now I'm sure if I was comparing the Snowpusher to a bucket without the boards on the side, the Snowpusher would win without question. But when you put a little something on the sides of the bucket to stop it from spilling over, the bucket actually becomes a really useful tool. You can see how much snow this thing's holding here. And the other surprising thing is how long I can make those boards without it just breaking. I just want to take a second to thank everyone who's subscribed already. If you haven't done so, think about hitting that subscription button. YouTube's putting ads on these things either way, but if I get to 1,000 subscribers, they have to share part of that with me. Pretty sure it's not going to be a significant amount or anything like that, but it's certainly better than nothing for plowing your own driveway, so. Now we switch over to the Snowpusher, and I can say with absolute certainty that the Snowpusher is faster. It's mostly just because you don't have to dump the bucket, but it's also because you don't have to be as careful when you're plowing forward to make sure you don't catch the edge of the bucket on something. And the angle really doesn't matter as much. Plus, you barely ever have to change the angle, so it just kind of stays in the right spot. If you want to see the speed difference between the pusher and the bucket, this is a pretty good comparison. I use each one for about 4 different rows, but I'm much more careful with the bucket and the wooden Snowpusher here. That being said, it still makes pretty quick work of it. If you compare that to the Snowpusher, I get it all done in about half the time. No angle changes, no dumping the snow, and you can go faster in general. So it makes a huge difference, as you can see right here. Next up, I move out front of the house and do a pretty long row with the Snowpusher. You can see how much snow that thing carries. It's actually absolutely massive, and frankly, it probably holds more snow than the Snowpusher does in general. The unfortunate part here is that I actually break the Snowpusher in this video for the first time. I decided I needed to scrape down the driveway a little more than it was, so I angled it forward just a bit further to get some of that hard-packed snow out, and you'll be able to see here in a minute, but the board on the right-hand side of the tractor, left-hand side of the screen, kind of splits open from scraping against the ground here in a minute. I think it's on the next pass. And I think it was this row where I broke the thing. You can see the corner of it there splitting apart. I don't think I noticed until the next one though. So while I did plan on doing a little more with the bucket in this video, I had to finish everything off with the Snowpusher. Since I took the back drag off the Snowpusher, I'm doing a little experiment here to see if I can actually get by without using a back drag feature, or even using the rear blade to sort of pull things forward from this area. And it actually works pretty well. I've figured out how to turn with the Snowpusher, at least with a little bit of snow. You just have to lift it up off the ground a tiny bit so the front wheels have weight on them again, and in those cases it actually steers pretty well. Now I'll just let you watch the last little bit of cleanup while I give you my findings. Frankly, the Snowpusher, if you're going for speed and which one's the best implement, it definitely wins. It's quicker to clean up, you don't have to dump the bucket, the sides of it don't break, for example. But that being said, if you just have a little bit of a property to do, you already have a tractor with a loader on it, I think it's probably the most cost effective and frankly pretty effective in general to just put some plywood on the sides of that bucket to hold in the snow, and you basically turn it into a snow pusher yourself. You'll have less trouble if you don't make the boards as long as I did. My design was pretty ridiculous. But as long as you put some sort of board or some sort of metal in those sides, it stops the snow from piling out and it makes it a pretty efficient snow pusher. Now without the boards in it, they're really annoying. Snow falls off the sides. Still good enough to get the job done in a lot of cases, but if you have a ton of snow, you definitely want to put the boards in the side or get a snow pusher. The one thing I don't recommend that anyone does is try to plow your driveway with two different implements in the same day. Switching them back and forth was super annoying, super time consuming, and overall this was probably the longest it's ever taken me to plow my driveway, so don't hope for too many comparisons like this. It took a lot of effort and was pretty annoying to do. That just about wraps everything up here today. Hopefully you found this useful if you're thinking about buying a snow pusher or just using your bucket or anything along the lines, or maybe just found it relaxing to watch some plowing. Either way, hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. I am more than halfway to my goal of 1,000 subscribers right now, which is pretty fantastic. Thank you to all those people who have subscribed. And if you haven't, hit that subscribe button.